Hello, I'm Jane Biaggi, Coordinator of School Programs for the Norfolk District Attorney's Office. And I'm also a member of Oasis. Oasis stands for Organizing Against Substances in Stoughton. And today we're interviewing Dan Tarlin. Dan is the Director of Partial Hospital Programs at Westwood Lodge. And he's also a licensed social worker and a licensed alcohol and drug counselor. Good afternoon, Dan. Dan, I'm wondering, don't all kids drink alcohol? Isn't it just a rite of passage?
Well, I think a lot of kids and adults think that all kids drink alcohol, but in fact, when you do careful national studies of these things, it's actually not true. Just in Stoughton, in 2011, when you look at use in the last 30 days, that about 33% of students have used in the last 30 days, which means, of course, that 67% have not. And so most kids really are not using. And that's backed up nationally. In the last study of 12th graders, also from 2011, only 40% of 12th graders had used in the last 30 days. So, and this number, not only is that a less than half number, but that number has been going down. It's as low as it's ever been. And so I think that's a testament to some good prevention that's been done over recent years.
What's the big deal about drinking anyway? I hear that sometimes from families, parents, kids. What is the big deal about it?
Well, obviously a lot of kids do drink, and many of those kids who do drink, still do okay. But studies show that the earlier kids start drinking, the more risk they have of developing alcohol problems. So a study from the Journal of Substance Abuse, 1997, shows that those who drink at younger ages have a much higher likelihood of developing alcoholism. So, for example, 40% of individuals who started drinking at age 14 or younger developed alcoholism in this particular study, and those who started drinking after age 20, only 10% of them developed alcoholism. So, obviously, that's I'm not trying to say that everybody who starts drinking at age 13 is going to become an alcoholic. I mean, that's a little extreme to say. But what I am saying is that you do increase the likelihood that will happen. And then that study gets more detailed. It shows that even though many of those who start drinking at a younger age won't become alcoholics, certainly more of them are going to have problems with abuse and other difficulties throughout their life, even if they don't become full-blown alcoholics. So it really matters about waiting as long as you can to start drinking and experimenting with that. Does matter and does increase the chances that you won't, or decrease the chances that you'll have a problem later in life.
If I'm a high school student and I have a friend who I think has a problem, what are some signs and symptoms?
Well, I think the big thing that you want to look for is the functioning across the whole lifespan, across all the things that the student does. So, is your friend having problems in school? They stop doing well in school, showing up late to school because they're either hungover or they're drinking before school. Are they blowing off work, getting fired from jobs that they have because they can't make it up on weekends to get to work? Are they, of course, getting in legal trouble or school trouble that they didn't used to? And I think, to me, one of the most key things is, I think we all know what activities are, what are kind of healthy activities. And of course, lots of kids get involved in lots of activities: sports, theater, the arts, community organizations, any of those kinds of things, volunteer organizations, and getting involved in the community like that is what, of course, what we want for our kids, and I think what kids should want too. And when people start having substance abuse problems, they tend to drop all those activities, and they tend to just start. Then their social life consists of hanging out, drinking or smoking, and playing video games, and that's where you're not doing things that are productive, and that's really, I think, a sign that there's a problem. You give up things that are healthy and things that are exciting for not much else.
What can I do to help a friend if I am worried about them? What are some resources?
Well, I think the first thing that you can do as a peer with your friends is to start with supportive statements, but firm statements as well. So you want to tell friends that while I think you're great and I want to still hang out with you, but I'm worried about the amount of alcohol, the amount of drugs that you're using, and I think it's messing you up. That's not always a message that's going to be well taken by peers, but it's sometimes a message that needs to be given, and it's tough to give in a supportive way. And then, unfortunately, since that won't probably be enough, you really do have to get parents involved and tell your friends' parents about what's going on. I know that's not easy or pleasant to be dropping a dime on other kids, but the reality is that that's the way that's going to happen eventually. If kids are developing alcohol or drug problems, these things don't tend to go away on their own. They tend to go away when someone puts pressure, and since you as a friend can't really put pressure on them, and that's really where parents and other authorities come in. So as tough a message as that may be for some people, that's really where it has to go. If you care enough about the person, you really have to tell people who are in a position to put the pressure on.
Well, thank you very much, Deanne.
Well, thank you for having me.